All right, today we're jumping into a really cool shift in teaching, one that's all about reinventing something most of us probably dreaded, the grammar lesson. We're looking at a new playbook that's all about moving away from just memorizing rules and into a world of discovery. So, let's start here. I want you to take a second and actually think back. Picture yourself in school, in grammar class. What's the first feeling, the first image that pops into your head? Yeah. If you're thinking about rote memorization, endless boring drills, rules that made no sense, and just so much red ink, you are definitely not alone. For a lot of us, it felt totally disconnected from how we actually talk and write every single day. It's no wonder so many of us walked away feeling more confused than anything else. And it just makes you think, come on, there's gotta be a better way to learn the architecture of our own language, right? Well, turns out there is. And it all starts with this one simple but really powerful shift. The new playbook is all about moving the spotlight off the teacher who just gives you information and shining it right on you, the learner, who's on a journey of discovery. This quote from the workbook just nails the new mission. And listen to those keywords: notice, make sense of, and become more confident. See, the goal isn't just to pass a test. It's about genuine understanding and feeling good about how you use language. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does it actually play out? Well, it really comes down to two totally different paths to getting a handle on grammar: the old way of rules versus the new way of discovery. So first, you've got the deductive approach. This is the traditional way, the one we all probably remember. The teacher stands up, says, here's the rule, and then you spend the rest of the class practicing it. It's straightforward, sure, but not always so sticky. But then you have the inductive approach. And this is a total game changer. It flips the whole script. Instead of being handed the rule, you start with real language, a story, a song, whatever, and you get to be the detective and figure out the rule for yourself. I love this way of thinking about it. In the old deductive world, the teacher is an architect. They give you the finished blueprint, and your job is just to follow instructions. But in the new inductive world, you're the detective. You get clues, not a blueprint, and you get the satisfaction of solving the mystery yourself. Now, all of this detective work, it hinges on one single powerful skill. And the workbook calls it the absolute secret weapon for learning: the art of noticing. So noticing isn't just reading words on a page. It's that aha moment. It's when you consciously start to see the machinery behind the words. You stop just asking, what does this say? And you start asking, wait a second, how is this built? What's the pattern here? Okay, that sounds great, but it also sounds a little magical, doesn't it? I mean, how do you actually get someone to notice a pattern without just, pointing it out to them? Well, it's not magic. It's actually clever design. A teacher engineers these noticing moments. They'll give you a text, but instead of giving you the rule, they'll ask a smart question like, hey, what do all these sentences have in common? And then, this is the crucial part, they step back. They let you have that moment of discovery. Only after you find the pattern do you work together to put it into words. So what's the end result? What does this actually look like in a real classroom? This is where grammar finally stops feeling like a chore and actually starts to get fun. First off, you can say goodbye to those old school worksheets. We're talking about using things like poetry and song lyrics. We're talking gamification, teamwork, activities where you're actually communicating and using the language in a way that feels personal and meaningful, the kind of stuff that actually sticks. There's this hilarious article title mentioned in the workbook that just perfectly captures grammar's old reputation. It's called Grammar the Skunk at the Garden Party. And isn't that perfect? You know it's there, but nobody really wants to go anywhere near it. But here's the beautiful thing about this new playbook. By turning boring rules into cool mysteries and drills into games, it basically takes that skunk, puts a little party hat on it, and makes it the life of the party. It makes grammar something you actually want to engage with. So when you boil this whole shift down, from rules to discovery, what's the one thing, the really crucial point you should walk away with? It's this simple idea. Great teaching isn't really about having all the answers. It's about knowing how to ask the right questions, the kind of questions that empower people to find the answers for themselves. And that really leaves us with one final massive thought. This whole shift from being fed information to discovering it yourself, that's so much bigger than just grammar. Just imagine for a second, what if we applied this one idea to the way we learn?
Well, everything.